me, so we have a cord. Pinterest is actually telling you what is really popular with that search. So it's not just tens unit, and let me see if I can get this bigger here, but it's people are looking for, exactly. So what that's telling you as a business owner is now you know, okay, cool. People are searching for tens unit, which you thought they weren't, and now you know, okay, well, I can start creating content about the benefits of a tens unit, and that's going to lead back to your content. You can start talking about the placement, and you can really start using Pinterest and what Pinterest is telling you people are searching for, and you can kind of dominate it that way. So it's really, really powerful. If you guys did a search, or I can do a search right now on personal trainer, because I know a lot of you guys are in fitness. You guys know John Goodman from the PTDC? Okay, let's see where he's at. So third pin is a pin that I created for him years ago. He's not advertising that, still one of the top pins. So basically, we did some research. We looked at what people were interested in. They were interested in finding out what books were good for personal trainers. So we put together this piece of content. We pinned it. We drove a ton of traffic to his site. And then he has the traffic. He can capture them, and he can convert them into customers. And that's really the process. So Pinterest is just a place for you guys to put your content, really get in front of your target audience by knowing what they're searching for, and then getting all that traffic back to your site. And once they're on your site, I mean, just think about it. If John's saying he gets 800,000 impressions per month on his content. Oh, 2 million.
Come on, man. Don't
2 million. 2 million. Imagine 2 million people looking at your business per month. Could you make some money off of that? I hope so. Probably.
Google, is it ranking these things at all?
Yeah, so these images are searched by Google. So when you do a search on Google and then you hit the little image button, these pins are popping up. So the better your results are on Pinterest, the better your Google image search results are on Google. So the best thing to understand right now is there's no competition. I mean, I did this years ago, before I even had my own company, and John is still performing in the top 3. So pretty powerful stuff. So I want to kind of dive in. I do have a training that I'll go through. Oh, yes, question.
So because you haven't done much with it in a few years, but it's still at the top, does it mean that it's difficult to move if you came in not at the beginning but today? Or is that, you know what?
No. And so I can show you. I've got some stuff I'll show you guys so that you can get to the top as fast as possible. So we do this. This is like how we really dive in because we want to make sure that we are number one. And you can see here, like here's the second one. I know it's a strange image for you, but the second one is promoted. So that's being advertised, okay? So when we're talking about how many people are advertising personal training on Facebook, is there a lot of competition? Is there?
Oh, on Facebook, yeah.
On Facebook, yeah. Is there a lot of people advertising for personal trainer types of products, services on Facebook? It's pretty heavy competition, right? There's not here, which gives you guys a really unique opportunity.
And they have a paid platform as well?
They have a great ads platform. So let me tell you guys about that before I dive into my training, because there was the director of monetization from Facebook. He built out the entire Facebook ads platform. Well, he left Facebook and he went to Pinterest. So now he's over at Pinterest and he's creating all these really cool ad opportunities just like he did at Facebook. So things like retargeting, right? You can retarget custom audiences on Pinterest. No one knows that. So you can retarget your email list. You can retarget your website visitors. You can retarget people that look like, they call them act-alike audiences, but people that look like your existing customers. So you can start placing your content, I mean, we're talking laser specific. And in the ads platform, and I'll show you guys a little bit about this, but it tells you how many searches per month there are for each of those keywords. So you could do ads based on keyword, you can do them based on interest, you can do categories, but I recommend you do the more specific and go the custom audience route. And there's also, you can be advertising to people that are engaged with your stuff. So you saw Facebook, I don't know how many of you advertise on Facebook, but Facebook has recently introduced, okay, well, you can start advertising to people who've engaged with your page, right? Pinterest has the same thing. You can literally advertise your content to people who are engaging with your stuff. So when you think of this as like a marketing perspective, you have to kind of pull yourself back and go, okay, well, why is that valuable for me, right? Why do those ad options, how do those help me in my business? The more familiar people are with your business and your brand, the more likely they want to do business with you. So if they're seeing you, and you guys have all been retargeted before, right? Like you guys have been on Facebook and seen something you just clicked on somewhere else. You're like, oh, it's just at their website. And now they're serving you an ad. Frank Kern is a genius at this. But the reason that retargeting is so powerful is because the chances of someone finding you again organically are really slim, especially online, right? They are looking at something, they click to your website, whatever, they click off, they go back to scrolling through Facebook, looking at cat videos, whatever they're doing. Well, imagine when they go to that next place, they see an ad from you that's like, hey, you forgot your free gift. Oh, you clicked off without this. Well, then they're like, oh, I was just looking at their stuff. Now I can get this free thing from them. And so that philosophy of becoming warm and familiar with the consumer or the other business is what's going to allow you guys to really capitalize on getting them to take action. Do you have a question?
You just said, as it relates to, so if they've engaged with your images, you can then target them based on their engagement with a free gift.
Exactly, yeah. So if they've clicked on your content already, you can start creating a custom audience of the people that are engaging with your specific content. And then you can send them something else. So, oh, you got your free book. Did you get your free strategy call? Or did you get your free gift from us, your free course, your free 7-day trial of our program, of our membership? So you guys can start leveraging the contact that you have with people. And so for us, in our experience, website visitors and email audiences far exceed any of our retargeting that we've ever done on Facebook using Pinterest, because people are just really more familiar with us. It's you have to hit the Apple TV thing. All right, do you guys have questions? Is everybody kind of following? Am I going too fast? It's a lot, I know.
So how are you getting them from the image to your site?
That's a good question. So if you go, let me go to my account real fast. I'll just show you. And I'm going to give you guys a lot of ninja tips. But see right here, we have 1.2 million monthly views on our content. And I have not spent, I just started running a couple ads because I had some new content. But before that, I hadn't run an ad in 3 months. To get that much, to get that many views on YouTube, how much would it cost you? A fortune. A fortune. Facebook? No. You just would not be able to do it. So that's one of the really powerful things. So let me go to my... Yeah, exactly. And because there's a ton of competition right now. So these are some of my pins. Oh, really?
Your targeting may have been off.
Yeah.
I'll help you. We'll talk about it. So I'll just use this one as an example. Actually, let me pull up a really good one. So if they click on that pin, just really quick, so the way that it works is you are putting your content on there, right? They're going to click on that. All they have to do is click the image. They can save the image, they can send the image, but then it goes to your website. This is my site right here. So all they do, and you can see we've had 118,000 shares with that one graphic.
Where you see that? Right there. Mm-hmm. Wait, right?
Yeah.
118,000 shares. That is a lot.
Compare that to 500 on Facebook and 100 on LinkedIn.
And 36 on Google Plus.
Do people even use that even more? I don't even know.
Unicorn.
And so then what our process is once I get them on my site, right, I'm like, cool, I have a visitor. I need to capture them. I need a lead. And so we pop in our opt-in right off the bat. I don't even show them the content yet. I'm like, cool, you're on our site. Here's a little intro. Oh, by the way, opt-in. Because I need you to become a lead. So now I can retarget them on Pinterest with some more really good content, maybe something that leads them into a funnel, but at least I'm making sure that they are going to opt in. And then the content is short. And then here you go. It's just a graphic. Took me 20 minutes to make, and it has been working for me ever since completely unpaid.
Go ahead and scroll to. I'm going to show everyone here from the top again. So just give us some ideas of oh no, I'm sorry. Go to the pin itself.
The pin?
Yeah, just scroll down. Stop right there. I just want to. So why did you choose these items? Because obviously they're effective, but is there a way? Is there a specific strategy?
Such
for
a
that?
good question. Yes, this ties into what I'm selling, right? I want people who need to know what they need to do to market their business, because I can teach you how with all my paid courses or my done-for-you monthly marketing program. So I always create content that I think is going to help them solve a problem. So most people who are searching for marketing habits or marketing techniques or marketing strategies probably need to buy my How to Market Your Business on Social Media course, right? So I create content based on what I have researched that they are looking for. Do you guys want a super ninja tip that I've never even given anyone? I've never even shared this with John.
Well, you're about to share it with the world. So
All right, so check this out. Who has heard of BuzzSumo?
BuzzSumo.
Okay, all right. So basically, you can do a search on any topic. So let's do, I'm going to do tens unit just because it's so unique. I hope that's okay. So what you see here is you do a search for a keyword, and it tells you what has been shared the most, what kind of content has been shared the most based on what you search for. So it's super tiny, so you guys are going to help me. Okay, but so tens unit, let's see. So it's not pulling up like maybe. Okay, so does a tens unit help with fibromyalgia pain? Okay, that one looks like it'd be pretty relevant. So this is the most shared piece of content around that. And there's 800, is that 800 right there? How many on Pinterest? 4? So there's an opportunity for you to know, hey, people are interested in this on Facebook. Why wouldn't they be interested in this on Pinterest, right? So I use this BuzzSumo tool. John had asked me, we did a training the other day. He's like, well, how do you know what they're going to like? Well, I research it. I look. And I try to create content based on what people are already interested in and showing, and they're literally showing it. So you can see there. Personal training. I know a lot of you guys are in fitness. Same thing. So a better way to, look at this. A better way to train small business owners. Let's see. No, let's find a personal training. Just look at the examples. I mean, basically here's one. It's 16,000 shares, 0 on Pinterest. 13,000 shares, 0 on Pinterest. Do you like Victoria? Somebody, I'm sure you guys know who this is. 0 on Pinterest, 25,000 shares on Facebook. Okay? So you guys can all start doing this and start seeing, okay, well, this is relevant to my business. This is going to lead into me offering my product and selling what it is that you guys sell.
You see the low number on Pinterest as an actual opportunity.
Heck yeah. There's an absolute missing opportunity there. And this is for...
Like, nobody's looking for it or whatever.
But if 30,000 liked it on Facebook, why wouldn't they like it on Pinterest? So as business owners, they just don't know where to get the content, right? Yeah.
It really is.
You're welcome. All right.
But if they're not looking for it, or if they're not currently looking for it because it's not up there, how do you get them to begin to look?
So what I do, my process is basically I look to see, I'll say, okay, I'm going to launch a new social media management software, right? I'm going to look here and look for what articles have people been sharing about social media management software. And most of them, it's going to be which social media management software is the best. And if I look on BuzzSumo and I see that 10,000 people have shared that article on Facebook, you can be pretty confident that if you created some content on your website and you put it on Pinterest using that same keyword, that same phrase that you know people are interested in, it's going to perform really well. And I have a lot of examples. I'll show you exactly how we did this from the day that we pinned it, how fast it went up, and the keywords and the strategies that we did to do it. So, is this good? Yeah. Okay. All right, so let me get into the keynote. So I'm just kind of going fast off of a keynote that me and John did a training on. So let me skip through this stuff. Here's just a couple of examples. Again, I'm using these same strategies, you guys, 10,000 shares, 20. This one right here, the 17 online entrepreneurs to follow. It was the first pin I ever pinned. It's got that one image alone, has the one on the far left, the first one I ever pinned. So here's what's interesting about Pinterest too, is it has this like snowball effect. So 10,000 people have shared that. That literally creates 10,000 other pins of that same image somewhere floating through Pinterest space, right? So the top is always going to be the one that has the most weight, like the most popular. So the 10,000 one is always going to be to the top. But that means there's 10,000 users out there on Pinterest who have saved that one piece of content. So it's all searchable. Let's see, we have 26,000 on the second one, 30,000. This one was 53,000. This one was 3,200.
So, okay, I have a question. So can you, now that you have months or years of data, do you now know why some were pinned more often than others? What is the reoccurring theme? If two are very similar and you're targeting the same audience, what would make one a complete winner and one moderately good or moderately bad?
The content, just being geared towards what people are looking for. So I knew when I first started, there's not a lot of female marketers. There's really not, right? I mean, you think of a marketer who's doing really well in the space. It's like Grant Cardone, Ty Lope, you know, like those guys. You don't think of any girls. You just don't, which is sad. But Marie Forleo, but she's not really marketing. She's more of like, she's just different. She's just different than, she's not really tactical, right? She's just different. She's overall. So for the tactical stuff, you just don't really think of females. So that's why I put together this post. I'm like, here's some females that you need to be following in the space. And I knew it would blow up. I knew it. And it was just, I mean, maybe it's intuition, but it was researching that nobody else had put together a post like that. And so many people have literally mimicked that post since I put it up. And now they all do their own kind of list like that.
You just recently asked a question about this on Facebook.
I do this all the time.
I noticed that.
I seed people all the time. Like, hey, what do you want to know right now? Oh, do you want to know more about the Facebook algorithm? Oh, cool. Because then what am I going to do? I'm going to create content around the Facebook algorithm. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to put it on my blog. I'm going to share it on Facebook. And then I'm going to create a really cool Pinterest graphic so that I can either, one, hope it gets out there organically with keywords, or so that I can advertise it and go straight to the top. Be one of the top search results every time.
So you put that on Facebook?
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll put the article on Facebook, of course.
Yeah.
Because if you have one piece of content, you need to share it on every medium that you have. Mm-hmm. And right now, you want to make sure that you're hitting all of those networks, which is why we do Facebook Lives, and then we put them on YouTube and we're working that out. The strategy is a little different. But for the most part, the process had been find out what people want that I can sell my products around, right? Use Pinterest to drive traffic, collect them as a lead, and then I can sell them later. And this is exactly what we did to build our business, 100%. I didn't have a big budget for Facebook ads. This was a hobby. I was just a mom blogger. But it worked, and so I was like, oh, cool, I can make money doing this. This is great, you know? But anyways, so I'll give you guys the framework and exactly what we did to make this all happen. I'm going to share this just because I know a lot of you guys aren't sure still about Pinterest. Facebook seems to be the number one that people go to, but 93% of people that are on Pinterest that are searching are looking to buy something. They're making those searches to find out something they want to buy. They are also more likely to buy than a Facebook user, than a Twitter user, and they spend more money on average than any other users on any other platform. So if you've ever thought, I want to put my content or my products in front of people that are looking to buy, more likely to buy, and going to spend more money,
more affluent, different demographic, what's the...
It's the network. It's not passive, right? It's active. It's a search. It's search-based. So on Facebook, you have to kind of put your content out there based on, it's retargeting, or you're just putting it out there in front of your fans. They're getting content they're not necessarily looking for. You're just saying, hey, I made this content. Here you go. Well, on Pinterest, they're looking for it. And your content, based on what your graphics are and what you're putting out there to meet those keywords in that search, is what's going to make them decide if that's the right thing that they're looking for. Facebook's entirely different. It's a guess. We're putting this out there. We think it's great. but you're putting it out there for everyone. You might be advertising based on an interest, and they might not be interested in it at all. So the search-based part of Pinterest is what makes it convert so much for us higher than it does on Facebook. So let me see.
Rick, if you want to share that, go ahead.
So
I see you just came off. You want to share that? Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, so this is what I would say. Like before Pinterest, right? If you're searching for stuff, you're like, cool, I like this picture, I like this link, I like this, I like this. And it was a hot mess. And then Pinterest just was like, hey, put it all in one place, make it easy to find. And now we love it. Because then you can just go click on it and you can be directed to a checkout. So it's really good for e-commerce as well. There's a lot of people killing it in the e-commerce industry on Pinterest.
Link off that to your website.
Yeah, so like for example, if you saw that image right down there, I just pulled a picture that I found. But I found it from a pin, and then you can just click on the image and then it takes you to a checkout page. So you can...
Oh, that's the landing page.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. It just takes you right to the product page. So if you guys have, membership programs and you have things that you just want people to buy, you can really avoid the content step. I prefer the content step. I think it converts higher for my industry. But for businesses that sell just product, it might be a better idea to send them direct to the product page. And then what do? You retarget them around the internet, and you're like, you forgot to buy your chair, and you send them that same ad everywhere. So it's really valuable. What's up, guys? Rick Streb, you should be learning, not watching.
I totally goofed up. Turn the camera on here. It wasn't even supposed to happen. Hang on a second. There we go.
I'm just reading the comments. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I totally screwed that up. That wasn't supposed to come back on there.
That's okay. That's okay. Reading all these comments later.
I was told to post it, share it.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
All right, back at it. Here
Back
we go.
to work.
Here we go.
Okay. Sorry, Rick. Love you, buddy. Okay. So anyways, this was just to show you it's really relevant across a really broad spectrum of different industries. I know a lot of people don't think it's great for men, and it is. There's a small user base of men on there that are very, very active, but they're just not as out there as most of the women are. But they're growing. So it's a giant search engine. I kind of went over a lot of this. So let me dive into how to get started and how you guys can start becoming the authority for what you're doing. And the first thing you guys have to do is we talked about having a business account, because when you have a business account, you're going to get access to Promoted Pins, which is the advertising platform, and you're going to get analytics and data, and you're going to be able to verify your website so you can see, how you're performing, what content is the most popular, things like that. So when you start out with your business account, you want to put in what your specialty is in your name. So it's not just Rebecca Sage. That's her name, but what she did was to dominate the keyword, because remember, it's all search-based, is she put in there, fitness, health, recipes, family, and fun. So when I went onto Pinterest and I searched for fitness and I looked for people, she was the very first person that I found.
You're saying that in the name?
In your name. Yeah, so what would you be known for?
Well, I'd use these key terms as it relates to you're saying this name right here.
Exactly. So I would change your name. So mine is Kat Sullivan, Pinterest marketing.
Marketing.
Exactly.
Princess of
Pinterest.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay.
Just a princess in general.
That's very true. My husband would agree to that. But again, so I did another search for travel, and that's the second result. So he doesn't even put his last name. He just says, I'm Eric. I'm Eric, but he was the first search result for travel when I looked for people to follow that were posting about travel. And this is something you guys can do. Why? Because one, not a lot of people know about this tip. And two, it's going to help you get to the top. The third one was home decor, and she was the first person that I saw. And it just helps you, again, when you're one of the top, you stay at the top. That's what I love.
Does it really matter? Asterisks, commas?
No, it doesn't matter.
As far as searching? Okay.
Just keywords. And what's cool about Pinterest is they let you do this, right? I mean, you would get shut down if you were keyword stuffing anywhere else. I mean, they would
anyplace
never
else
let
it
it
would
fly.
be super spammy.
Yeah, but on Pinterest, it's okay because it's search-based, right? They need to know that you're trying to connect people searching for your stuff, and they're finding the right items, right things. So there was a question. No? Okay. Did you have a question?
I did have a question because you went back to it and said once you're up there, you're up there.
Yeah, once you're at the
So
top.
someone who's not up there wonders like
Follow this strategy, and then we'll talk about
Oh, that's
content
actually a really
soon.
good point. If they're there and they don't go, then how do I get there?
So you
There's
can-
only so many spots.
Right.
Well, you can niche down. You can be more specific, right? So if fitness is what you guys are trying to be found for, or like Rick, nutrition, right? Nutrition for personal trainers is very different than nutrition in general, right? That's two different things. Or nutrition monetization, personal trainers. That's chunky, but it still kind of sets you apart from someone who just offers nutrition, right? So that's what you guys can be doing to help you become the top search result for what it is that you're specializing in.
So it's the profile field. We're changing the profile field.
Yes, so your name. And if you want, yeah, so if you're let me see, hold on.
Okay. Those are my keywords. For
Perfect,
branders.
exactly. So go ahead and save that, and then do a search for TENS unit and do a search for people and see what starts coming up. I'm sure no one's putting TENS unit in
You
there.
know what, let's give a couple of examples for Shannon. So her thing that she wants to do is travel fitness.
Okay.
All right, and so she has a program coming out. So, and I just saw something that reminded me too on Instagram that it was like entrepreneur, like healthy entrepreneur stuff too. So that might be a correlation as well. So let's just kind of see what's out there. And
So travel fitness. So basically, tell me what that is. Like, what's the result people are going to get?
They're going to be able to, people who travel for business, you know, people who are constantly on the road have trouble staying fit, healthy, you know, with their eating and their workouts. So they're going to be getting workouts that they can do in their hotel room.
Okay.
They're going to be getting eating tips and ideas and packing and all that stuff just so that they can be as healthy and happy as they can when they're on the road.
So for that, like what originally, I would do some searching first because I don't know, right? You have to really see what's out there. But what I would think people would be looking for would be, you know, staying fit while traveling, or workout routines while traveling, or fitness while traveling. So fitness and travel, they're two different things. So you have to kind of marry what it is that your program or what you're offering. So they know, okay, if it's fitness and travel, it looks like you like fitness and you like travel. But if it's fitness while traveling, then you know, oh, okay, this person is offering us fitness training for while I'm traveling.
Hey Tom, lunch is here, but we're not quite done. He's got to do his magic.
Like for Shannon's example, I'm assuming you're going to target the relevant keywords.
Absolutely.
that are configured for.
Yes, and I'll show you a lot of how to do that in the actual content that you're going to be putting, but this is just like a hack for your profile that people don't know. And so it's just another way to help you establish your authority. And as we talk about branding, it's really important that you guys establish your authority in what it is that you do. You know, you are the expert in, and then whatever that is, you know, you're the expert in, what would you say?
Women's fitness.
So women's fitness on their schedule. Do you know what I mean? So it's a little bit different because it's catered to busy women who are trying to squeeze fitness into their day. And so you have a program that solves all of that. So you want to kind of lead with, that's what you are. And the reason is because when they come to your profile, you get a little paragraph to talk about who you are and what you do, and it's the same process, right? You would put in that profile, like in that description, this is what I do. I help busy women, or we offer fitness programs for busy women to work out on their time and with a schedule that fits for them and their family. Because then people who have a family who can't find time to work out are like, oh, that's what I need, right? You're solving objections and you're answering those problems that they have in their head that they can't really articulate, but they know that they need. So
One of the things that I've done with the help of Cat, and basically from my, I hate to say it, but 20 years of doing SEO, and a lot of the stuff that you do on Google will translate with this as well when you're doing search. So here, let me come on camera here, baby. So one of the things that works really well for me is using variables of the same word. So Shannon, as an example, for travel fitness, I would say things like how to stay fit when I travel, traveling entrepreneur, healthy travel, safe travels, hotel room workouts, exercise in your hotel room, how to use your hotel room as a gym, a hotel gym review, what to do when your hotel doesn't have a gym. And then also there's also gym, health club, fitness center, workouts, places to train, outdoor workouts, indoor workouts, exercise while you travel, best hiking trails in blank city.
He's going to start a program on traveling for fitness now.
So it's how many different, and this goes out to my friend Ron Legarski. You guys have heard me say this before, but this is important. He says 360 degrees of connection, 0 degrees of separation. 360 degrees of connection, all different points from every angle, 0 degrees of separation. So no matter how they search for you, no matter what they want, no matter how they are seeking a solution to the problem they have, you are omnipresent. You go, bink, I'm Shannon, and here I am. Mm-hmm. Come buy my cool stuff. And so how can you possibly appeal to them in every way that they could perceive the solution that you provide? And that makes a big, big difference. And then apply that to all these other things, and it just makes an incredible difference. And that's part of the reason, part of it's volume, because I'm doing so much, but part of the reason why I was able to go from 40,000 to 2 million impressions a month. And actually, one of my accounts went from 650,000 to 1.2 million in 5 days.
How
7 days.
Turning into sales, though, how is that?
I'm making more money. Yeah, works. And sometimes it's super fast, and sometimes it takes longer. It's okay, but because that's why I'm doing it consistently, because everything has a different maturation date. At some point, everything is going to become primed. It's going to reach whatever peak or potential it has at a different point. But if you're always doing something every day to make it be the next big thing, every day there's something new and better. Every day you're putting out something new and better and complementary and synergistic and ties in with what you already do. And that creates the full 360 degrees, 0 degrees of separation. It's just never ending. What do you call it, Roz? Right? Yeah. Constant and never ending improvement. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Actually,
There you go.
that's Tony.
Yes.
Oh, it is Tony. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So you borrowed it from Tony. All right.
Put this online. I'm gonna wait.
No problem. But I will elaborate on that. So how does it convert to sales? It's our number one source for sales. It's our number one source for traffic. It's our number one source for leads. It's our number one source for sales. And it really depends on what your process is after they come to your website. So if somebody's coming to your website and they leave, like, what's the process that you have to get back in front of them, right? Are you getting back in front of them on Facebook? Are you getting in front of them on Pinterest? And if they came to your site, did you capture them as a lead? And so we have just very basic funnels. Like, I'm sure some funnel guru would come in and say, this is so basic. You need to really amp this up. But it works, right? I just put people through a very simple process. I say, cool, give me your email. Here's something for free. The second email comes out 2 days later. I give them another thing for free. And then I start hitting them with, hey, would you like a free training? Oh, if you found that training really good, then we have this really cool program that you guys can buy. It's literally, I think, 5 emails, and it's a $67 product. And so when you think if you get 100 leads every day and they're all going into the same funnel, it does take a couple days to start getting those sales, but it works. And
so you go free, and then on the third email, you've got an offer.
So I do, basically, there's a couple different funnels, but it's basically, here's something for free. Cool, if you like that, here's something else for free, because I want them to open my email, right? Like, when they're brand new, you cannot machine gun market. Like, you can't be like, hey, I'm so glad you're on my list. Did you see I have a product? Do you want to buy this course? Oh, you didn't like that course? Here's another course for you. Like, it's machine gun marketing. Buy. You don't want to do that, right? So what we do is we go free, and then I go free again, because I want them to open my email. I want them to be like, Kat, this lady's awesome. She always gives me free stuff. Third email is a training, and that's because it works really well for us. But
you also said that was free too, if I remember.
Oh, it's free.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's a free training. I've done it for other people, and I just recycle it, and I put it in an email form, and they're like, cool, this lady gave me 2 free downloads. Now I got a free training. And so by the 4th email, they're looking for something for free, and I'm like, hey, it's time to pay up. But if you do, you're going to get so much better stuff. I give them a discount, I give them an extra bonus, and then I just hit them with one more email after that. It's like, hey, this initial intro offer is going to expire. If you're going to take advantage of it, get it now. And it's a $67. So it's a pretty easy, like, do I want this or not? And then they generally stay for about 3 months. So, and I'm not advertising. That's the beauty of all of this. You know, normally when you talk to people now, it's like, well, I'm spending this much money. It's costing me this much for leads. Well, I'm not spending any money for leads, and we get hundreds of leads per day just from what I'm showing you guys. No cost. So imagine what we could do if we amplify it and we put money behind it.
He's building out custom landing pages for your traffic, or are you just sending them?
I send them straight to my blog. So I do a content strategy.
How are you tracking them? I mean,
how do I track the traffic?
For this, or
just Google Analytics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had to have someone set that up for me because it's pretty techy to follow through from Pinterest traffic to conversion. But yeah, we do. Oops, let me see here. Hold on.
Are you guys digging on this?
Yeah.
That's great. This is the Wild West. Well, now that people are watching on Facebook, the West will change a little bit. But
what's happening?
People won't do the work. They're too lazy. They don't believe it. They're not willing to invest the time or the money or the effort or whatever. So you still have huge opportunity because most people simply will sit on their butt and do nothing.
Yeah, 98% of people aren't going to take it. And you guys know this. I mean, anyone that's in fitness knows, you know, people, when you leave them to their own and there's no accountability, they aren't going to do anything. They're like, oh, that was cool. I'm glad I learned that. But learning it is the first phase. The second phase is doing it, right? I can read every nutrition book in the planet, but if I go to McDonald's, it's like, it's not really going to help me.
I notice a lot of fitness people are connecting their Pinterest to their Instagram.
Well, you can do that through IFTTT, yeah.
Okay, because like, I've seen so many, you know, it's like a picture of somebody doing...
Well, let me show you why.
Oh, I'm curious to why.
I will show you. And this is actually one of...
Instagram as well.
Where am I? Safari?
I believe statistically that as many millennials that are on Instagram are also on Pinterest. You wouldn't think so, but that's what the data shows.
Let's look for... Am I spelling this right? Mill. Oh my gosh. Okay. Are these all John? I'm just kidding.
Actually, a lot of them may be, but actually I recognize
I
some
looked
of
for
those.
some.
Something came up the other day on Instagram. I'm like, oh, that's cool that I
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, God.
So the reason people do this is because it drives traffic, right? Like it's a super easy thing. It's a piece of content you've already created. So you can automatically share the content that you put on Instagram and have it automatically pin. There's one of my pins. But you can have it automatically pin all your content so you don't have to do anything. You just set it up once. You're like, cool, I'm going to focus on, and you can do it on Facebook, you can do it on Twitter, you can do it on Instagram, set up IFTTT, and it will automatically take each post and put it on Pinterest for you.
Are videos. So most of them are 1-minute videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then they post as a photo on Pinterest.
Well, you can pin
Videos
video to Pinterest as well.
But
Really?
it's
usually doesn't
new.
Click it and it goes right to their
You can do
Instagram
YouTube.
account.
YouTube will play in the feed now, but it's new. Like they're introducing, they're not as advanced on the
That's
video.
how I found certain things is through Pinterest actually, because I use Pinterest a lot to search.
Right.
But then I end up in Instagram. 'Cause it always
So
takes
that's a
me
really
to-
good, so if you kind of deconstruct that and see what people are doing, then that's a strategy for you as well, right? Like if you are finding content through Pinterest that takes you to somebody else's social network, there's kind of a miss there because what happens though is they're going to click back to your other profile. They're not going to click to your website. They're not going to become a potential lead. So it really just depends on how you want them to go through the process, which is why I choose my blog. I've done landing pages. I've done straight like free offer on Pinterest to a landing page. Pinterest doesn't like it as much, so it's like Facebook, right? If they don't like your ad very much, they won't show it to as many people. But if they don't like the landing page, they won't even approve it. So if you skip the landing page entirely, because people are misleading. It is what it is. You know, a couple of bad apples ruin the bunch.
Yeah, you could put like 7 healthy ways to whatever, and then you click on it and it goes to something completely different.
Right, and
you're
so,
like, what the heck?
yeah, it's bad marketers.
So, yeah.
It's people have stolen my content before. It happens to me
Now, do you
literally
think,
all the
doing
time.
The whole connecting to from Pinterest to Instagram, though, because I found that all these people that are doing that, they have a huge number of followers. So is it a good way to build a following and then switch your strategy?
I would test it. So if you're doing, so think about it this way. Are you putting that same content that you're putting on Instagram on Pinterest any other way, or is it just going to Instagram?
Well, I don't do it.
I'm
not doing
okay,
it
so
right
if you were,
Yeah.
yes, it's a good strategy, because if you're not sharing that content anywhere else, then why not put it on Pinterest, let people find it, follow you on Instagram, where then they can see other offers from you. Absolutely. Yeah. But again, it just really depends on what the process you want people to go through is for your business. But yeah, I would try it, and test is best. Any marketer will tell you. They can't really predict what's going to work. You just kind of have to do it and then see what performs.
I wanted to share one thing here. I'll do it real quick. There we go. So one of the things that I've done for the ads that I run on Pinterest is I will create 3 similar pins. And it might be fundamentally the same concept. Not exactly the same, but fundamentally the same. I may change the iconography of it a little bit. I may change the size and the type of the font, but still staying within the brand parameters using hex colors, logo, and things like that. And then I'll tag, title, and describe them roughly the same, but not so it's spammy, exactly the same. And I'll see which one takes off, and see which one is shared the most, and see which one people like the most. The winner is the one that I'll put money behind. But not until I know, because you might be putting money on a bad horse with a lame foot, right? You don't know. So you do enough similar things as possible. In a related context is like when you outsource something to Upwork or Fiverr or something like that. This is kind of related because I have them make some of my images. Have 3 of them, hire 3 people to do the exact same job, and then you take the winner of those, and then you hire them for the new jobs. And you can also hire them to create your new images as well. That's just one way of doing it.
Split test your designers.
Yeah.
I love it.
You do. You split test your designers.
Kenny Johnson.
Hey, Kenny Johnson. What's up, man?
All right. So let me see where we were. Let me pull it up. Oh, was it on a keynote? No, it was here we go. All right, cool. So you're just getting started. Oh, this one's really, okay. So I'm not even sharing, hold on.
And you guys, we're about 10 minutes from lunch, just so you know.
I'm going to talk really fast. I'm like the micro machine girl. Okay, so you want to get started.
What's up, Kenny?
You want to share all your content, and then everything is SEO. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then the one thing I do, which is really powerful, is having your website pinnable, which is like adding a pinnable option to your website. I'll show you an example. This is Entrepreneur. I showed you guys earlier how many shares we had gotten from Pinterest, right? Because we had a pinnable graphic that people could share. Well, Entrepreneur, who is, one of the most read publications online, they don't even have an interest or an option for people to share to Pinterest. So imagine if they did, right? I mean, could you start getting it in front of more people, getting it found, and kind of taking over that way? So you want to make sure that your website is pinnable. You can get it's so easy to do. Pinterest has tons of training on it. So let's see, getting your customers. Let me go through this. On your account, I don't know if John shared this with you guys, but one of the things you want to do, and let me use bodybuilding.com because they're a really good one. You want to create content that people are looking for. And so your entire profile needs to be based on what people are searching for. It's not for you to pin, the things that you're interested in. It's really like, okay, if I'm offering nutrition monetization plans for personal trainers, what are some other things they would be looking for, right? They might be looking for ways to make money as a personal trainer or Facebook marketing for a personal trainer. And so you want to create content that's centered around what those people are interested in. And so I use bodybuilding.com. They are phenomenal at this. So they break it down, right? Like they sell proteins, supplements, things like that. But you notice it's not just like protein recipes and supplements for people. It's things that their ideal target audience is really looking for. And then they segment it and break it down even further. So people interested in, or who might become a buyer, are probably interested in ab and core workouts, right? They might want some breakfast recipes. And you can segment and kind of grow on that. Breakfast recipes, lunch recipes, easy recipes, crockpot recipes. And then in that, you can sprinkle in the, oh, by the way, here are some protein recipes using our protein, right? Or in this ab and core workout, we recommend these specific supplements. So it's a way to get in front of people, again, without like pushing your marketing, and then segmenting it down. So that's going to help you attract more people. That's what I do, and it works really, really well. Let's see. What not to do: machine gun marketing, pitch, 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 just share your products, not share valuable content. If you do, you will not have success. It's that simple. Do you follow anyone on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and all they're doing is like, hey, buy my course, buy our product, It gets old and it actually turns people off. So don't do that. What kind of content should you share? I mean, really just break it down. If you're in health and wellness, it's not just healthy recipes, right? People might search healthy recipes, but they might get more specific. They might want easy healthy recipes or easy healthy crockpot recipes, things like that. Those are what's going to help you dominate the search. So if you're starting today, right, you want to go and see, okay, well, what can I put out there that's unique, that people are searching for, that there's not a lot of, and really kind of find your own way to build something that's very unique but specific at the same time.
And you can also, there's another way to do this. You can do it with the auto suggest tool of Google. And also our favorite website, www.keywordshitter.com. And also you can do it works great on YouTube, and it will work on Pinterest as well. So just as an example, let's just do a search here real quick if we can. Just want to show you guys something. Okay, so like just go up to the top there where you search millionaire, and just put in okay, millionaire. Okay, see all these auto suggestions, you guys? You see those? Okay, so just put in millionaire quotes women, and then space, and then like.
To spell it right, I can't see.
Did you get it right? Yes.
I can't see.
No, now it's not working for me now that I do this.
It's probably too specific. But let's see.
Okay, millionaire quotes, and then just go to millionaire quotes.
Do this. No. Do this.
Okay, so here we can just look at this. Okay, this is easier to rank for. This works. Listen, you guys, this is important. This works for Google, YouTube videos. If you're trying to rank and you go, man, I can't do something for diet or whatever. There's no way, right? It's like Home Alone before the crash. You're not going to rank for it. It's not going to happen. But if you look at quotes, women, but then there's empowerment, badass. I love that. Strength, grace, classy, inspiration, beauty, and so forth. Then what you can do is drill down even further from that, but those are going to be easier to rank for. There's going to be fewer people, and also imagine someone specifically does a search for quotes, women, badass, right? Let's just say they do that. You can see it right there.
Here, you want me to click on it?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm sorry, I'm in your way here. Okay, click on that. Okay, quotes, women, badass. Then your specific thing is all about badass women quotes. And that's all it is.
Which one of you guys is going to take that? You guys are all going to dominate right here.
Dominate the badass women. So, they didn't nail it. That sounded terrible. Let me put that in the microphone. That sounded terrible. I didn't mean that. Okay. Jeez. Holy crap. So, the more you can drill down and be specific, you may not have as many total people, but it is far more likely you're going to rank high, and you're speaking directly to them and answering the question, concern, or problem that they have, and you are going to be the most probable, likely solution, and they're going to be more likely to click and buy. And that works great on YouTube videos as well, exactly the same. Like, Coach, like if it was like how to do some type of sweep or hip toss for judo, but then it would be like for kids, for self-defense, again, and on the street, or like whatever, like drill down like that. You're absolutely going to dominate every single one, because everyone else is saying how to do a judo throw, right? I mean, how many judo throws are there? 30, right? 20? I mean, it depends how you're doing it. Left, right, and so forth. You need to be very, very specific with what they're seeking. and you absolutely will come up in the top 3, if not number 1 every time.
I just wanted to search and see if people are looking for that.
For judo throw?
So if your market is men,
How to do a judo throw. Okay, look at
You would just say
okay.
for
you would
men?
still go after this.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but look at
for
this,
you?
guys. But just look.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
how
yeah.
easy this is, and this is the Wild West. Here we go. Look at how to do a judo throw. I mean, you can say judo toss, judo trip. I mean, they're similar, right? But look, fantastic judo stuff is in the top. Judo stuff, you guys. Stuff. Coach, have you ever said that on the mat? All right, everybody. After we break, we're going to do some cool judo stuff.
Yeah,
But that just shows you.
Oh, that's the first search result. That's the first.
Hold it still. Look, no one is doing this right. Do you realize that if you did a whole series on each judo movement, or each jujitsu movement, or omoplata, triangle, mounted triangle, reverse triangle, how to do a triangle against a bigger opponent. Sometimes that's very difficult. So really breaking it down like that, it's so easy. You could dominate everybody. Because everyone else is just saying how to a list of jujitsu submissions, as an example.
So let's make it like real life. How would you turn that into a customer, right? Because ranking number 1, that's great, cool. Now what, right? If that was a video that took people to your YouTube channel, for example, well, what you could do is you could show them what they came to learn from you. You establish yourself as an expert, but then maybe you have a 3-day intensive workshop here at your gym in Las Vegas that people can then come to. So then you have a process that, hey, this is going to get in front of people, it's going to help them, it's going to build authority, but you have to have something that you can be selling to them as well, right? So it just depends on what you sell. Obviously, we all have different industries, but that's an idea. If you had a course, you would then say, cool, if you found this helpful, then you want to buy my training course, and you can get that from here. So that's how you know what they're searching for, you know how to dominate, you know how to be number 1, then you have something that you can sell them as well. And Pinterest can go local, and a lot of people don't know that. If you do advertising, you can do local ads. So I could technically put all of my, if he's hosting a mastermind or, say again?
Can you geo-target?
Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it's not as, you could do, I think, zip code, or I think it's county. It's not as robust as
I would
Facebook.
just include the name of the city, county, and state in the description, and also include abbreviations and various ways that people would, oops, got a tingle up there,
It's okay.
would describe it. Oh, next time, brother.
Oh, hold on.
But I appreciate it. Yeah, this has been a bit of a challenge. Okay.
But anyways, you can get specific. You can use your specific location in the keywords. You can use a specific location in your profile, in your descriptions, on your boards. I mean, everything, if you wanted to be super, super specific and local. I did this for a personal trainer in the Bay Area. We got her a ton of clients. We spent $200 advertising in the Bay Area, and she, I think, closed 6 new personal trainer clients who literally lived in her neighborhood. They saw her content, we started retargeting them, and then we went super specific, and so she got local personal training clients from that. We did it with a dog trainer, same exact concept. So it works for local business as well. People just don't know it. Do you want to take a break?
Yeah, I tell you what, you guys, what time is it right now?
It's like 12:15.
12:15. Why don't we let's go 5 more minutes, and then we'll stop for lunch. Okay, 5 more minutes, and you guys will do 2 minutes of questions.
Okay, so let me just fly through the good stuff I want to share with you guys. John wanted to talk about the graphics a little bit, and your graphics are going to really be what sets you guys apart. So Pinterest is a visual search, right? Google is links. So you have to think of Pinterest as your graphic literally is what's going to make it or break it. So what I recommend you do is you create a very, very tall, infographic style.
A lot of yours are tall. I was wondering that.
Yeah, so the reason is because it stands out. Pinterest actually prefers them. They've put in their official marketing strategies that they prefer this kind of content, because as Pinterest is a scroll platform, these ones will stand out against 3 short ones, right? You'll immediately be drawn to that. So tall. The second thing I always recommend you do is really strong branding. So we put our logo on the bottom of everything. We have something gold, and we put our logo in the same place every single time. We talked about continuity, so it's the same thing. Because if they see your stuff, they're going to be more familiar. And familiarity and sales go hand in hand. So the third thing that I always recommend is you actually put as much content forward as you can. And I do, yeah. And I have some examples of how we did that, but the reason is because people are more inclined to save it, and you want them to save it. Because the more saves you have, the higher you rank. And the higher you rank, the more traffic you get, and then the more people will see your stuff. So I don't think it's a bad thing to put all, like if you've got 25, 25 tips, I put them on an infographic. It doesn't elaborate. If they want more, they have to come to the site. So you can see those. And then I have some examples. I think I dove in.
Do you make your own? I'm just curious.
I do, yeah.
Do you
Canva.
Canva, canva.com.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah.
They have a template for Pinterest in there. Don't use that. Do something bigger. Because everybody started using this Pinterest template when it came out, and then it was the same thing. They all started looking the same.
And then you no longer stand out.
Yeah, and then you don't stand out. And so you have to really think outside the box.
Is your brand specific colors and stuff like that? Do you stick with your brand?
We do, always. Black and gold. Yep, we'll put it on everything.
That's part of the branding. Remember earlier,
Is there a temp-
those of us who have gone through the branding process, we know our colors.
No, we kind of wing it. It just depends on how much stuff I have to put on it. Like if it's 10, I can go shorter, but if it's 25, I need to kind of make it big. So we just kind of wing it and go with whatever we're trying to promote. So we talked a lot about how you guys are going to get to the top. So if you're starting today or tomorrow, right, what are you going to do? And this is where those keywords, we've talked a ton about it, but this is my strategy. This is how I go from nobody has seen this pin, nobody knows what this piece of content is, and now they're going to be number one. It's inside your pin description. So I save my images to my blog, and I give them a title. I don't just title them, social media calendar, right? That's so common that nobody's going to find it. So what I do is I keyword stuff, right? I look for everything people are looking for. Social media content calendar, social media content ideas, social media content template, social media content calendar template, and I put all those, I stuff them inside that pin description because it's search-based. So whatever people are looking for, Pinterest is going to crawl through my content. The pin description. So that's different. That's when you find a piece of content that you're going to share, you get to give it one specific description.
Can you, this is like
I'm going to show you an example.
I was going to say, can you actually walk through like a quick...
Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah. And I'll show you how I set it up on my blog so that anybody else who comes to my site and pins it, they pin with the description I want them to pin. So they pin it with my 12 keywords in there. It's not just giving them the option. I'm like, hey, here you go. We pre-populated it for you guys. Make it super easy. You can also use hashtags now. Those are searchable. This is really, really new within the past few months. So if you want to test that out and see if you can become the #1 hashtag on Pinterest for a keyword, now's a really good time. Let's see. Keywords help you rank. Just to give you guys an example, again, I'm going to show you exactly how we did this. December 31st, we created this piece of content. On the 1st of the year, we were number 4. Using that exact process, I created a tall pin. I put all the content on the front. It's branded heavily. I added the keywords that I wanted to be found for. For this example, it was female entrepreneur quotes. And in 24 hours, we were the 4th search result. And then we went to number 3 because over time on Pinterest, the longer you're there, the better your results. And then we got to 2, and then we got to 1. So in just a matter of days, we went from having no content to being number 1 in search. You can't do that anywhere else, and that drives, again, a ton of traffic. We get those leads, they go in our funnel, and then they buy our products. And then we've been able to duplicate it. These are just some of my results just to show you guys. This was billionaire business quotes. We did number 3. Let's see. Millionaire business quotes. We were number 3 in like 7. Business quotes, we were number 2. So this strategy really works. I wanted to show you guys these because I know a lot of people are like, well, you've been doing this for so long. No, we get the same results in the same period of time.
You're getting so much in that one hit.
And that's why they save it.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're only getting 2 words.
And look at this compared to all the others. You see something different?
How it stands out, you mean? Whoa.
You see why we do it that way?
Let me zoom in on this so you can see.
So which one of those, if you're looking for business quotes, are you going to save? Ours. Because it's tall, and it's branded, and it's got all the content on the front. And we're the best keyword search, so we get more saves, and it stands out.
How long can you go before you start getting obnoxious?
I don't think it matters. I mean, John has been like...
very obnoxious.
I didn't want to say it, but John and I have a very different strategy, right? Like, he is very explosive with his marketing, and I'm just me, right? It's just different. But he, using his strategy, has been able to obtain really good results in a fast period of time because of his aggressiveness. And again, because there's no competition. I mean, you guys, you're the pioneers right now.
You're doing more quantity, and you're
I'm doing more quantity. Well, I'm doing
He does both. He does both.
I'll tell you part of my strategy. So, for a lot of the stuff that I'm outsourcing to the Philippines, that is volume. I mean, they're doing between 100 and 350 pins a day. And a lot of those are customized, motivational, inspirational type of pins. That's for my personal account. Then some for my other fitness businesses. They are more long form, strategic, promotional, educational, some inspirational. And that's where I put some of the money behind. But I'm only spending, $500 to $1,000 a month at most. And in some months I just turn it off because it's growing organically regardless, and it's just not necessary. So both are true. But what I'm doing is I'm doing the machine gun in a way, but very strategically, not just crazy. And we've gone back and modified it over time. So it's complementary and synergistic, not the same thing hammering. And that's volume. But then we do the long form like Kat showed here on this one. That's slower and more methodical. And basically what we're also doing is seeing what is already working in various industries and different industries. So I'm going to stand next to you so I can pick up the microphone here. So what is working in other industries? That's why it's important that we're all here together and we're in different industries, some completely different from the others. So I would say, what are the top 10 blank in electrical muscle stimulation and pain management? How can I translate that, correlate that, convert that into fitness, entrepreneurship, personal development, whatever? Then I recraft it, but I find out what's already working in the top of all these other niches. Then I don't copy it and I don't steal it. Specific. I go, what are those same things? How can I rephrase it? I'm going to use a different font. I'm going to put in my logo, my colors. I don't like the way that reads, but I can tweak it a little bit. Then you come up with something that's completely your own, but it's based on something that's already proven to be working because it has 50,000 pins and it's at the top of the board. Okay, that's a winner. How can I redo that, make it 30% different with my colors, my logo, different industry, similar tags, but for my industry, and make that a winner as well? And so I'm always talking about condensing time, getting to the goal line faster, shrinking the distance to the finish line. That's how you do it. What already works? Reverse engineer it. And so, but you do it from other industries as well, because it's very, very unlikely that people from that industry would ever see it in your industry, and it's more highly unlikely that people in your industry would ever look in those other industries to learn because they're narrow-minded. They have the governors on everything they do and see in life, and that's why they miss out. I wasn't voguing.
So Kat, every single one of your pins just goes directly to your main website? Or
so they go to a blog post. And so that's what I wanted to specify with John. What we started doing was we started sending them to Personal Trainer Magazine because it's a landing page. It's a lead. So that way he was doing so much content, so many graphics, that we were sending them for sure to a page where we knew that he was going to collect them as a lead. And then they can go through his funnel. So it's very different than just putting your content up there and sending it to like your home page if there's no process to collect them.
So every single pin that you make, you have a blog post and it goes directly to the blog post. And
Yes.
The blog post
Collects. We have opt-ins all over our blog. I literally just hired a consultant. They told me we have too many leads. and not enough processes on the back end. And it's all because of this. Like, they thought it was Facebook ads, and I'm like, no, it's all Pinterest organic, evergreen.
Now think about this. So, I mean, I was just talking to someone yesterday. I'm not going to say right now, but they spend $25,000 a day on advertising online, and I don't think they're doing any Pinterest. So imagine if they did the $25,000 a day.
I do that every day.
I know, but well, they're making that back, and then double or triple. Actually, for every dollar they put in, I think they're getting 3 back. So they're doing 50 grand a day. It's good. So, but what if they did it Pinterest in addition to that, or took $3,000 of that and put it into Pinterest? Then what could happen on top of what they're already doing? I'm not saying negate, stop, or reduce what you're doing elsewhere. I'm saying do the Pinterest in addition to it and multiply the benefit.
So you work. You create the idea first and then make the blog post.
Yes.
Can you? So what wouldn't be good? So I already if I already have tons of content, can I take my content and just go ahead the opposite way?
Absolutely.
Even
Yeah.
if it's not tested.
Yeah. So I have a blog writer. He writes. I give him ideas. He comes up with something really great. Writes the blog. Tells me when it's done. I go create the graphic because I have an idea of what's going to perform best. So yeah, we just work together. But it's content's already created, and then I'll go back. Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
write a blog based on keyword on SEO.
Yes, the way that we create our content is twofold, right? It's one, what's going to perform well, and what ties into what I sell, right? So putting great content out there is awesome, but if it doesn't tie back into what you sell, then you're not going to convert, and you're going to have a problem. And so we know that we convert through that email list with these leads from Pinterest through this funnel. We know that, and so we can turn that up, and we can keep pushing people through it. But if it didn't sell, I would probably have a different strategy, right?
It's kind of like you don't want a lead magnet on your page. Other people call it a tripwire, which I hate, or a welcome mat, or your ethical bribe, or whatever. You don't want that to be disassociated from the main or higher level product that you want to sell. Like the example, I think Billie Jean was telling me, he's like, or maybe it was someone else I was listening to. Molly Pittman was saying this, and she says some person does dog training, but the lead magnet was a cat calendar. There's a disconnect.
Right.
Okay, so you it's just,
I don't know.
That was a great example
idea.
because people go, well, they're pets and everyone loves pets. But you need to ensure that whatever you're putting on Pinterest is directly correlated to either the blog content or the program, the product, the service, the entry-level program, or the additional video content on your website, whatever. There has to be a correlation so there's a common theme. And also that's why Kat is really adamant about the branding of the pins, because you want the experience visually to carry over into whatever, because there's a big disconnect. Like one is blue and purple, which would be horrific, and the other one is gold and white or whatever. Then you're like, wait a minute, what happened? Why is this different? Did they send me off in the wrong direction? I don't feel good about this.
But let me ask you a question, and I don't mean to, so when I see some of your stuff up there for your motivational quotes and all that stuff, how is that directly correlated to being an entrepreneur coach?
Okay, I'll tell you exactly why. So the question is, I'll answer that. That's a good one. So the question is, the stuff that I put up is motivational, inspirational. What does that have to do with entrepreneurship? What I have found through coaching entrepreneurs for like 20 years is that a lot of them lack the inspiration or motivation, but also with my new program that's coming up, here's a pitch, Online Expert Empire, it's about taking that motivation, that inspiration, and that passion and turning it into a business online that you can monetize. So it correlates with the entire story about taking passion and motivation and how can you change the world. And I love French bulldogs, or I love making a difference for kids that were fatherless, or whatever it is. Then you turn that into profit. And that's my new program, is teaching people how to do that. So the inspiration and the motivation is the catalyst for that. And also there's another reason for it too. People want motivation and inspiration. Now personally, I think motivation is often overrated. I think action is underused. But inspiration and feeling good, just like it's like your morning cup of coffee. It wakes you up, it makes you feel good. If you like that sort of thing, that's great. So people gravitate towards whoever makes them feel good. And I want to make people feel good. And so if I can share a quote, a thought, an idea, a video, or a picture that inspires them, makes them feel good, they're more likely to be more interested in the other things that I have to offer them, which will enhance their life monetarily. So is that long-winded, right? But that's the strategy. That's why. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I wanted to have a question. I think Rick has.
Rick.
Yeah, okay. We talked about how John uses the shotgun method with his pins. How many are you putting out regularly?
Not as many as John. I'll show you. Probably every time we have a new piece of content, we pin it multiple times. So instead of just pinning it once, right, we pin it to every board that I find relevant. So we just had a new blog post that went out. We create a variety. Let me just show you because it makes more sense to look. We create a variety of graphics, and then we pin them all to different boards. So let me go to my profile. So here's an example.
Those look great.
And this is just a template we have, right? It's got the gold and the black, and that's our brand. But if you look at these two,
Mine don't look this good, by the way.
Sorry, when I go, I can't zoom in too much because but I create different graphics, right? Those take me a couple minutes on Canva. I create 2 different graphics, and then I pin them to every relevant board that I have. Social media, marketing, Canva, graphics, tutorials, how-to, DIY. So and you can see how many times I pin it, right? Like I did my blogger wrote 13 YouTube channels for marketing, and I pin it multiple times, like to all the boards that are relevant. And then what I do is I have an automation service. It's called Board Booster. And Board Booster comes in and it loops the content I've already shared. So I don't have to share these anymore because this automation software is going to come in behind me and it's going to take the content that I've already shared and it's going to repin it to the top and it's going to delete the old one. So it's going to
say that again at boardbooster.com.
Boardbooster.com. And so that's how you can automate this entire process. And that's all I've done. So I don't actually spend a lot of time on Pinterest. I create the content, I put it out there, and if I'm not running an ad, if we're not like launching something, then I don't run any ads. I just put the content out there and I let the content build on itself. And then as you see, like we create different graphics and let people tell us which graphic is the most popular. And then if we are going to run an ad, we'll run an ad on the one that performs the best. So that's really our process. Does that answer your question?
So you might put out a couple pins a month, but you're going to make multiple versions of that.
Exactly, yeah. And you can do it 2 ways. You can pin them straight from your website, or you can pin it once and then repin it. So it starts carrying that pin count and it'll start going up as well.
It's just like when there's social proof, when there's lots of repins of your pin. It's like when there's a video on Facebook and it has 300 views or 30 million. Which one are you most likely to watch? So you can start the process going to create the social proof.
Yeah.
You had mentioned you brought in an agency to help look at your landing pages, and you mentioned that they said your opt-ins weren't strong enough, or what?
We have too many leads coming in, and not a great process on the email side. Yeah. So they came in, like we weren't tagging people from where they were coming from. I didn't know that was a thing.
Was your passive links on your blog post, so you were capturing the leads quite well?
Yes.
It was what you were doing behind the scenes.
Right. So we have so many opt-ins, right? For every piece of content we put out an opt-in, or we link to an existing opt-in. So what that does is that creates multiple lists, right? So instead of just having one list where everybody's going through the same funnel, I'd have some people on this list, some people on this list. And that was just me kind of shooting from the hip. Again, I started as a hobbyist. So I didn't really know. I was kind of just diving in before I knew. So when we hired this team to come in, they went through and were like cleaning it up and saying, okay.
What's your CRM?
ActiveCampaign.
Oh, ActiveCampaign. Yeah,
so they were certified in ActiveCampaign and really, really good. So they came in, they put everyone on the right list. They said, okay, these are the people that didn't buy. These are your customers. Now you have better segmenting. Everyone's tagged properly. And then with the multiple opt-ins, they actually all go to one funnel. Instead of them sitting over here and being in separate funnels, they have them going into one funnel.
And so your workflows, your email workflows, are you an advocate of a story? Do you kind of tell a story in your workflows, or what?
I have never put any real thought into that, honestly. Yeah, I kind of focus on content marketing and social media. And so then the back end of that, like the process for how we do that, it's really all like intuition and just kind of taking action to see what works.
A charismatic figure that your story would be quite interesting.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Do you want to help me tell that story?
I just think it's a story worth telling.
Sure.
In the sequence of an email.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I've never done that. I don't take a real personal approach through email because I identify through my brand. And I think a lot of people have self-branded, right? Like John Spencer Ellis versus Nesta. And when I started, I said I don't want to be the face of my brand because I want my brand to be able to stand on its own. I want Marketing Solved to be the right, and that's what most, like my coach came in and was like, well, it's you, that they're buying from you, they're not buying from your brand.
Story and leading it into an offer,
right?
Something else.
Yeah, no, I've never tried that. I probably should. I'll write it down.
All right, you guys, we're gonna wrap here. But obviously she's going to be here all day. She's going to answer more questions for you. And anyone watching at home, marketingsolved.com, thanks for tuning in. And if you want to be a part of the Penthouse group, going forward, johnspencerellis.com/penthouse, because these are awesome freaking smart people.
Cardamom?
Yeah, Jason Cardamom. What's up, brother? All right, you guys, thank you so much. It's lunchtime. We are hungry. We got a long way to go. Talk to you later. Thanks.